The strongest man on earth is just days away, and we're taking a look at one more event. We're diving deep into the squat lift.
Finally, your diving deep is actually quite appropriate in this case.
Let's hope people are hitting depth.
Well, we want to see some nice deep squats, does it?
The squat is an event I loved as an athlete, and I'm very excited to see the squat at the Shore Classic Strongest Man on Earth. We did see a squat in 2021. It didn't turn out how Brian wanted, so he has been putting tremendous effort into making this squat heavy and hard. Watched his recent video in terms of the making of this squat apparatus. It looks incredible. Cannot wait to see it in person finished. He is making this heavy. I've heard there's still a little bit of testing to do. Hopefully it's been done by the time this video goes out. However, I've heard numbers of 380 kilos for reps. And talking to Brian, he's like, yeah, 380, I think we'll see quite a good number of reps. I was like, Brian, we'll see half the field fail.
And you know what it is? We don't see squat much in strongman anymore. I feel like it's been deprioritized compared to sort of 20 years ago in athletes training. Would you agree?
Yeah, well, everything is focused on the deadlift these days, and a lot less emphasis on the squat. Generally because of the judging of a squat.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw the squat for Max at the Arnold's a couple of years ago. Jeff Curran taking the win there, and visually, with so many people around you, I think it's a bit harder to enjoy. So hopefully this apparatus is going to look epic and give us what we want. Seeing athletes have hugely strong legs but look visually cool as well. Brian has put a lot of work into it, and I must say I cannot wait to get out there. I'd love to get under it, just have a feel, not with the full weight on there.
Obviously not.
Just for the photo opportunity alone. However, we do have some tremendous squatters in this lineup, and it's going to be another interesting event.
So we should probably start with the man who, to my knowledge, has squatted the most in a powerlifting meet, in fact, and that's Thor Bjornsson. Now, he had a good 440 kilo squat. My numbers might be outdated.
I think it was 445, yeah.
Okay, 445. I know he failed. Well, he was red lighted for 460. He did go down. It did come back up, but he was red lighted for it. But he has been under that sort of weight. So
he's a massive squatter, and it's rare that someone that tall is such a good squatter. It shows the strength of this man, and we've been talking about Thor in every single one of these videos. It shows he's got some great events.
Are they allowed to wear suits?
No. Okay. This is Brian Shaw's competition.
Of course.
No suits allowed.
No suits there.
Which again makes it even more impressive. 380 kilos is a massive weight for a squat for reps.
Yes.
Not talking one rep here.
No.
And, if we go back to that squat at the Arnold's a couple of years ago, we do have 5 athletes that competed there that are competing in this competition. Bobby Thompson was the highest placed out of the athletes competing. He squatted 429 kilos.
Nice.
Novikov did 411. Maxime Boudreau 391. Tom Stoltman also did 391, and Trey Mitchell did 388.
I don't know why in my mind Trey Mitchell would be a much better squatter.
He's built to squat. He's definitely built to squat. I mean, let's not knock 388. It's a big weight. However, yes, I think probably expect more from Trey, particularly then. Be interesting to see what kind of shape he's in for this year. I hope he is in good shape.
Oh, I hope so too. Just because I love watching Trey compete, because he's a beast.
Yeah. Now, there's been a lot of back and forth between athletes when it comes to the squat online, particularly between, I won't say it was between Thor, but Thor, Lucas Hatton and Mitch Hooper are all trying to play a little bit of mind games. Lucas Hatton has been doing a good job of getting into the heads, I think, of some of the top guys.
So.
And he's looking very, very strong when it comes to the squat. I've enjoyed watching his videos, looking forward to seeing how he does. He's an exceptional squatter, and I think he can do exceptionally well when it comes to this event. However, I do believe that Thor and Mitch Hooper take the top 2 spots.
Okay.
Mitch Hooper, I believe, has the strongest legs in strongman. Now, that might not be based off the numbers he's done, but if you watch his training, and as a coach, I am terrified. I've had to hold him back sometimes because he's training in a commercial gym, squatting 400 kilos on his own, doing his knee wraps on his own, in a rack that kind of he's got to lift out himself. Everyone else, monolift, whole crew around them. You know, someone's doing their knee reps for them. Mitch's quad strength is unbelievable and his endurance is unbelievable too. I believe Mitch Hooper will win the squat. He doesn't even believe he'll win it himself, but I think he can win this squat. Thor is an amazing squatter, technically very, very good. He's got an amazing coach in Sebastian Oreb, who's a superb squatter himself from a powerlifting background, and he's done an amazing job working on like the deadlift and squat with have Thor looking ridiculously strong. Lucas Hatton also looking ridiculously strong, but I do believe that Mitch can take the win on this one.
So, of course, it's not just a 3-man competition. So a couple of other men that we think are going to do exceptionally well in the squat. Austin Andrade also looks built to squat.
Austin, you do look like you can squat.
Compliment.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a compliment. He does look like someone who can squat.
Yeah.
Quite similar in proportions, I think, maybe to Lucas Hatton.
A little bit taller, but
but overall proportions.
Yeah, just that
maybe.
thick set, powerful looking. We know he's a great deadlifter. He's got massive legs, big thick trunk. Again, not being disrespectful, but that's beneficial in terms of just supporting the weight. It will be interesting to see how this machine affects the movement, because I believe it's going to be a fixed machine, so you kind of not having to worry about balance so much. It's just driving that weight up.
It's like the world's most epic Smith machine in some respects, isn't it, with that line?
I'm genuinely looking forward to getting out there, looking at it and getting a feel of how this moves, because it's going to be so spectacular, I think, to watch. And you don't often say that with a squat event, but I think it's going to be a good one.
Ivor Schmuxlis also, we talked about him in the deadlift, that not being his favourite event, but he's actually had some great squat results.
Ivors has won a lot of squat events in various different competitions. He's a much better squatter than he is deadlifter. Bobby Thompson, also a massive squatter. It's an event he needs to do well. Like most athletes, some athletes have real strengths, some have real weaknesses. This is an event that Bobby will want to get big points on. We're going to be in for a treat.
There's got to be quite a few of these newer athletes where we don't really have much to go on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the likes of Tristan Hoth, Wesley Dewinski, I'm not that well versed in how good they are at squatting. I haven't seen too many huge training videos from them. And even Matt Ragg, I think Matt definitely not a bad squatter by any means, but definitely prefers the deadlift over the squat.
One athlete who I know is not going to be loving that there's a squat in this competition is Evan Singleton. Again, someone who absolutely loves the deadlift, but I think he said quite openly himself he does not like to squat.
He doesn't like to squat. He is pretty strong at squatting. I see his videos. He always does box squats. A lot of the time, I do box squats myself, and it's kind of mentally, it helps you.
Is it a confidence thing?
A little bit. It kind of helps in terms of guiding depth if your athletes need to get better at going deeper, depending on how low they set it. But also, yes, it gives you that confidence that you're not going to fall back a lot of the time. And I would say probably Tom is not as excited about this one as, say, the Max Stone that we spoke about in the last video.
Have we seen Tom do squat for reps at World's Strongest Man? So we just double checked. He has done the squat. So he's done it in the group stages where he placed third.
Yeah, not for a few years though.
No, behind Alexi and Trey, and then in the final also a few years ago, and he placed 7th. So, but again, he's someone we don't see squat that often.
No, we just don't see squat that often in
don't.
strongman competitions. World's Strongest Man, sometimes we see it in the heats, occasionally in the final. We've seen it once at the Arnold's. We saw the squat at the first, I believe, Shaw event, first or second.
Yeah, 2021 is second.
Yeah, so it's not an event we see all the time like the deadlift, so much harder to predict. Tom hasn't put out too many squat videos in terms of his training leading up to this, as opposed to like Lucas Hatton, who's posting everything, Mitch Hooper, who's posting everything, Thor, who's posting everything.
People post things when they're enjoying it and they're confident and they're strong and it feels good. And
athletes are very like, some people don't put their numbers up, some people love to show what they're doing. I don't care, like I don't mind if people see what I'm doing, because we're all going to find out on the day.
Of course,
if you're lying about what you're doing, or you're underplaying. We're going to find out how strong you are on the day, and it's why I always like seeing what people can do at a contest. But we do have some very, very strong squatters.
So you've predicted Mitch is going to win the squat. I'm going against you. I'm going to predict Thor.
Okay.
With Mitch.
And I think that's a sensible choice. You know, Thor's an amazing squatter.
Yeah.
He's hugely powerful. He's got the background in terms of he's proven himself many times in terms of strongman competitions and powerlifting competitions.
Yeah.
And he is coming in big.
Yeah. I think if it comes down to just who's got like not even a strength thing, more of an endurance thing, then yeah, maybe Mitch can win it, because I do think he's probably one of, if not the fittest athlete there.
Absolutely. You know, his endurance is tremendous. Yeah. The interesting thing, once again, though, and I said this on the round table discussion with Brian and the guys, how much do you want this to affect the other events as well? Because your leg power, if it goes completely, can really affect the overhead events. It can affect the power stairs. It can affect, you know, so many events. Yeah. So getting the balance right of how many reps to do can be an issue. Yeah. And I think the fact that he's gone heavy stops us seeing too many reps.
Yeah, I think so. How many reps do you think is going to win this event? 6?
I don't believe it will be like a freestanding 380 kilos.
No.
So I think we'll see some athletes 0.
Yes, I agree.
And I think we could see maybe, you know, a few athletes getting 6 to 8.
Okay.
If it's genuinely that weight, you know, it's hard to say. I mean, I've seen squat machines vary so much.
Yeah, we need to see it in action.
It's really hard to say a number without seeing an athlete go.
Of course.
If I sit there and watch like a couple of athletes go, it then suddenly gives you so much more feedback of how hard this event is, because you know what people are capable of in terms of a normal squat, and then you start to understand how it's moving, and then you get that real understanding. So when you've never seen an event done before, and it's not a standard bar as such, like a just normal squat, so hard to put a number out there. So I don't want to say a number, but I think Brian is going to make sure this is tested perfectly.
Yeah, of course.
I think he's going to get the number right to get a good amount of reps. Yeah. I think, like I said, we may see a few athletes at 0, we may see a few 1s and 2s, and we might see a couple of athletes push up to 6, 7, 8, maybe 10. So there you go, guys. That is the squat for the strongest man on earth. One of the events I am really, really looking forward to. As an athlete, I love the squat. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you guys enjoy squatting? Are you looking forward to watching this event? I know squats sometimes don't always come across so well as a viewer, but I think this one is going to be good. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you guys next time.